Well, very much expected, but of course this is a devilishly complex process, and we're not even halfway through it. Remember that the Article 50 notice was given last year at the end of March. We are still not a year into this process, and there's another year to go before we leave the European Union. So if this were an excellent text for Gibraltar, I would still be worried it's not the final text, and therefore there'd be everything to play for. It's not a bad text for Gibraltar, because the inclusion of Gibraltar is in the green ink, which demonstrates agreement between the United Kingdom and the European Commission, but there's still this non-footnote asterisk reference back to the European negotiating guidelines, which nobody in Gibraltar will like to see. But there's still a lot to play for. There is still time to go before we get to a final text. That final text then has to be approved by the respective parliaments. So we are not out of the woods, and we are not in the deepest of woods at the moment.
Nevertheless, that text saying that Article 24 should be respected is there in a document agreed upon by both the British government and the European Union, and that causes people concern.
Well, you know who we have to thank for that. Those who supported leaving the European Union and putting us in this position where we, as part of the United Kingdom, are having to deal with the other 27 who are rallying to the cause of each one of the member states in respect of their particular disputes with the United Kingdom. The most high profile is Ireland. Gibraltar is also there, gaining a profile, but there are issues involving fisheries, migrants, etc., which are also making their way up the area of disagreement. Now, that is the reality of a Brexit negotiation, where the United Kingdom is one of 28 states now negotiating against the institutions of the European Union and those other 27 states, with Spain one that is relevant to the issue that matters most to us, which is our homeland, Gibraltar.
Michel Barnier said that all 27 member states of the European Union stand shoulder to shoulder with Spain in solidarity on the Gibraltar issue.
Well, anybody who has seen how the European Union has approached the issue of Northern Ireland will not have been surprised, however dismayed we may be, to see the Europeans negotiator take a position which is in respect of the Europeans. But look, frankly, I thought Monsieur Barnier misused the word solidarity, which is a word I associate with standing shoulder to shoulder with another working man in the concept of trade unionism to defend working people. If you want to defend working people, what you have to do is defend their right to access Gibraltar and to egress Gibraltar after a hard day's work. And if you want to associate yourself with common people, whether they're workers or not, you want to ensure that they can continue to access the continent of Europe from this smallest part of the continent, which will remain resolutely forever British.
There is a school of thought being bandied about that Gibraltar and Northern Ireland could be the blocks upon which the entire Brexit process stumbles.
Well, look, those are schools of thought, those are theories. That's about what political pundits may want to opine on. I've got to look at the detail of texts. I've got to understand where the final agreements are going. That's what the people of Gibraltar pay me to do. They don't pay me to do political punditry, and I'm not going to fall into the trap of, unfortunately, wasting time on those issues today, however much I'd enjoy being an armchair general or writing the odd article or Facebook post about this sort of issue. What matters is looking at the detail, being in the detail, analysing the detail, and making sure that when the final text of the agreements come, they protect Gibraltar's interests. If they don't come, well, look, even better.